Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Saturday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength, Saturday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Saturday. Saturday, bring it on.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome. Go. I can't talk, Coach.
Dude, you're right. There you go. There went the voice, Coach. I was encouraging Coach Steve to be tough and get through this podcast, but maybe I pushed you, buddy.
I know it sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Pretty bad, cold.
It's your late night DJ voice.
My wife thinks it's Barry White.
Yeah, they're Barry White. Yeah.
Like the deep voice. Anyway, I have a cold, so I apologize.
She likes you being sick, I bet, huh? Whispering sweet nothings into her ear.
Anyway, I apologize for the voice. But let's do a couple shout outs. First of all, coachingyouthhoops.com. Before we jumped on here, we were talking about some new stuff we're going to be putting in there. We're very excited about it. A lot of cool things coming down the line. So if you're a youth coach and you're looking for the one-stop shop, what did the one person say?
Yeah,
everything in a box.
Coach in a box. Beautiful. It's exactly what it is. Everything you need for your entire season, right there for you. You know, the other thing to think about though too is it gives you a head start. Even if you tweak things, change things, add things, you're not starting from a blank slate. You know, when your season starts, it gives you a bunch of ideas. Oh, I never thought about that. Right? Boom, there it is. Right? It saves you just a tremendous amount of hours. Steve and I already did the hard work over the last 30 years for you. Put it all together, took the best of everything, threw it together, very methodically, planned out. Nothing in there hasn't been anything we haven't used. It's not just a random slob blob. You know what I'm really excited about to adding that I'm testing? I always think about my teams as labs for coaching youth hoops, right? So I have a 7th and 8th grade girls team. Shout out to my girls. Love you guys. I have the offense. I've been tweaking it. The one I shared with you at the beginning of our season, dude.
Is it working?
Oh my God. I mean, it was the easiest thing I've ever implemented on the offensive side. We learned it the first practice. Now making adjustments and tweaks along the way of adding, slips and curl screens and all of that, but the base is there, right?
Right.
And then I blew their mind with the inbound plays because they flow right back into the offense and you can't get a quick score off of that sideline, baseline, press break, fast break. It's all, I don't know. I get excited when I think about it because it's like, oh my gosh, the easiest offense system, soup to nuts, that I've ever done. I'm excited about it.
Go over and check it out, Coach Youth.
Check it out. That's right.
Yeah.
CoachingYouthHoops.com. Also, I want to do a second shout out to Pro Sports Equip, Mario. He set our team up with these amazing shooting shirts. They're beautiful. Hey, if we never win a game this summer, we are going to definitely be the best dressed team.
You look good. You look good.
Yeah, good. Check out Pro Sports Equip. That's Pro Sports EQUIP.com. All right. Ask for Mario. Tell him you heard about it on Coaching Youth Hoops. All your sporting goods needs, shirts, jerseys. If you're a high school coach and you need equipment, it's there. Scoreboards, everything.
I'm looking for shooting shirts, Mario. So reach out. Yes.
Just
anyway. No, it's great. I mean, and I'll tell you, I was just on the site before you and I jumped on in that the pop-up. So there's a discount on there too if you go look at it.
Yeah. So when you talk to Mario, tell him you heard it here on Coaching Youth Hoops. I want to make sure Mario gets taken care of. He's a good guy, works hard, and did a good job for us on those shirts. So shooting shirts. All right, Coach, what are we talking about today?
I don't know. Leadership. You tell me. It was your topic.
Talking about leadership on your youth team. What does that look like? How can you do it? What should you do? What should you not do? When you should start it? What kind of flavors, etc. So let's dive in with that particular topic. So leadership, captains, that type of thing. We've all had captains on the team, different ways of voting for your captains. I'll tell you my version of it and ask questions because this is kind of new. And it's something I've been, like I said, I always think about my teams as the labs. I did it last year in high school as a first test. Now I'm doing it with my youth team. I have a 7th and 8th grade girls team. Again, shout out to the Level Up team. Wonderful group of young ladies. They started.
I'm sure they're not listening.
No, they actually do. They actually listen. They even said, "Hey, Coach, the one episode that I wasn't on, which you just did and you just posted." They're like, "Coach, I didn't hear you. I heard that other guy." I'm like, "Oh, go listen to the next one."
What about the other guy?
You're the other guy.
Very nice. Ladies. You never know. So I was in your area recently too, right, ladies? So be nice. We were in Calistoga.
Calistoga, yeah.
It's California and Sarasota put together, I believe.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
Okay, leadership. I call it a leadership council. So basically what I did is I handpicked 3 individuals that I thought would represent my club team the best.
And how did you do that?
Honestly, I thought about that before this podcast thinking, well, how did I choose them? It was really based on I based it on, I have one of the older person on the team, Stella. She had just leadership qualities that I thought, and she just happened to be one of the older girls on the team. And then Addison, she was just full of energy, right? And I thought, okay, we kind of, we need that. That's actually in our framework. So drive open together. And then Rainey, she just loves basketball, right? And I thought, okay, those 3 have very different qualities. Let's build from there and see what magic happens.
So that's you were looking for different things in each of the.
I really was looking for, so we have this framework and you've heard me talk about it before. It's called the red dot framework. And we coach the game on the court and the game in the head. And the game on the court is the 3 things that I think are the most important: rebound, efficient scoring, and defense. And then, the dot part is drive open together. Okay, so drive is energy and effort. Open is being coachable, open to your teammates, all of that kind of thing, open to new ideas. And together is, the most important person in the room is the person next to you, right? That's kind of our thought process. So I was looking for 3 individuals that really represented DOT, so drive, open, together, right? That was how I kind of picked it. Again, using our own framework that we've been working with. Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah, and so it wasn't necessarily just random, but it was also, it was built towards, or it was picked towards that framework. And again, at this point, I didn't, these are young ladies. I didn't know if they were going to step up or what happened. To my surprise, they have been absolutely amazing. Okay, so we do, they had to organize a particular, so basically how I structured the leadership council was, I said, you're the voice of the team. I said, this team is yours as much as mine, right? I want feedback on things that we're doing in practice. And I go into a little bit more detail, because you got to remember, these are 7th and 8th graders. They're learning how to be leaders. They're learning how to talk to adults. They're learning how to give feedback to adults, right? And they're also the leadership skills. They're learning how to talk to their teammates. And I think that is one skill that is often overlooked by coaches, talking to your teammates. And what I mean by that is, these girls, they all want to play. They all want to win. If they tell their team to hustle, it's going to go a lot further with their team versus me always being the voice telling them to hustle, right?
Right.
But at the same time, the leadership council has to be respected, right? And has to they don't want to sound, they can't be mean to their teammates when they're talking to them, and it can't be perceived that way either, right? So, we spend some time in our weekly meetings, and we just meet half an hour before one particular practice, and we talk about what the agenda is going to be for the week and things that they need to work on and communicate to the team. So it doesn't, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time, but it does take an investment in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. So what have been the biggest obstacles with that? What have you hit with this leadership? I mean, has there been jealousy about people you've picked, or them not listening?
I'm going to assume there is. I haven't heard that yet. That is definitely one signal that I'm monitoring. Why wasn't I picked for this? But what I told my team though is hey, it's you'll get the younger girls, you'll get your chance, right? Show me you can be a leader. Show me you can, show this red dot energy that we have, right? And you may be assigned a task to do, right? If that's truly what you want to do, because that's the other part of it. So there's 3 individuals that are the main leaders, part of the main leadership council. Now, what you can do, and what I did last year on my high school team, is assigned committees. So you have, one person in the leadership council is the person in charge of the music, right? So they get to choose a playlist and practice. Another one, where are we going for after game food, right? So they get to choose that, right? What are the bonding activities, right? So we just break them up into committees at that point. You don't have to, for your youth team, you don't have to go to that level. But I think what's important out of all of this is teaching kids how to be leaders.
That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
And this takes kind of the place of captains and the thought of captain, right? It gives them a little bit more responsibility.
Right. I think the issue is you don't want it to be exclusive too. Like,
right.
That is the biggest issue.
Yeah, exactly. And that is definitely a point that we talk about. So what they do is, this was awesome. I didn't even know they were going to do this. They last week Thursday, they came to me and say, "Hey, coach, can we have 15 minutes after practice?" Sure. Okay. It's like, well, we have an agenda of things we want to share with you about. This is going to blow your mind. I should pull this up on my phone so I get it all right. Because if they do listen to this, they're going to be like, "Coach, you forgot this is good." We also have the other thing. As I'm pulling this up on my phone, we have our own text as well, which is great because they are all communicating. Okay, so they came to me and said, "Okay, coach, we want to talk to you about things that we want to see in practice." I'm like, "Oh, great, okay." And they're extremely respectful too. It wasn't like these were demands, anything, but they were saying, get this one, their number one thing they want to do more of, run.
Really?
Yeah. They said,
why?
They said, look, coach, none of us like running, but we know the importance of it because during game time, we don't want to run out of energy like we did on our first game.
Well, that's good.
I'm like, oh my gosh, who are you guys?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. The next one we have a 2-hour practice. The first hour to 45 minutes to an hour, we spend shooting, and they wanted to do more contested shots. So not just shooting, right? So
right.
Like, oh, good idea. Same thing with layups, being, contested using.
And is the council talking to you or all of them talking to you? How does this
work? Right now, just the council, just the
okay.
three girls came with these. Yep.
Okay.
This is another good one. They said, "Coach, yeah, we've been a little silly in practice. We want to be a little bit more serious. So, we will, when the girls are starting to get a little too silly, we'll step up and say something." I'm like, great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Another one was set expectations. They wanted me, we always meet in a circle for a quick chat before we start practice. They want me to set the practice expectations. So what do we want to accomplish 1, 2, 3 today? So they can focus on a couple things during practice. Like,
right. Here's what we're going to get better at today.
Yeah, you're going to get better at. Yeah. And then they wanted to, it's interesting. Most kids would say, "I want to scrimmage more," because they want to, they don't want to listen to us. Right.
Right. They want to play. Yeah.
They said that, but they wanted to set up scenarios, more game-like scenarios in practice. They just felt like they weren't getting enough of that in practice. I'm like, oh, hey, that's great feedback. Anyway, so they came to me with these things, and I said, these are great ideas. And I said, okay, how do we accomplish them? What do we do? I ask questions. I don't determine the outcomes. These are their ideas. I want to get in their head. So that's how, right, you build leaders, right? And you want to make sure that you're hearing them, right?
And you're teaching them that it's on them. Like, yes.
On them, right? So now they're going to be held accountable. And then so anyway, I implemented some of these things they did, and I asked them at the end of practice yesterday, I said, how was that? As they're dripping in sweat and huffing and puffing, they go, "Coach, that was awesome." So, yeah, so they saw that, okay, I listened, right? I changed practice based on their feedback, right? And we made the adjustments. And what they did before the start of practice, they sat down with all of their teammates to discuss these things.
Right.
And they asked their teammates, okay, here's what we told coach. We asked of coach, here's what he's going to do. What do you guys think about that? Right.
I mean, you know this from coaching long enough that player-driven teams are what you want.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's where you win. It just is.
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that. So last year I did this. This was a great outcome. Last year was not a good outcome. Almost the same process. You know what the difference was?
The council.
Yep. I chose the wrong people. And that was the biggest difference. I chose negative people last year.
Right.
So what did they bring to me?
Negativity.
Everything the coaching staff was doing wrong.
Right.
Right. And these guys picked the right people who had a good balance of thoughts. Right.
Right.
Biggest difference. So picking your first leadership. And I this is where I don't know. This is the question I have, which, how young can you do this? Like
that's a good question.
They're starting to think about high school a little bit mature. They probably have more responsibilities at home and chores and all that. So, some of them are babysitting even in 8th grade, right? So there's that. So then I'm sure you could start it younger in a different flavor.
It'd have to be a lot different. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I would do it at the elementary level.
But I wonder if you can give how can you empower, a 3rd and 4th grader as an example, right? You couldn't take it to the length I just explained, right. But what could you do? And yes. That's a question I'm asking, or more of a rhetorical question of what could you do, right? I have to put some more thought into that. But I think, hey, what color socks do you want to wear? Or, right? I don't know.
Right. You pick things that don't, quote unquote, matter as much.
Right. Yeah.
And let them feel empowered. Exactly. And then slowly move them toward things that will matter more.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or give them, hey, we're going to do drill A or drill B. Which one do you want to do?
Yes.
Right.
Do you want broccoli or cauliflower?
Right. Yeah. A lot of times, though, what I do if we're going to do some sort of consequence, hey, losers have to do X. I give them a choice. You want to go liners or do you want to do burpees? Liners. Yeah. Right. Whatever they choose. Right. So you can start giving them those choices other than you just choosing. Right. So it empowers them. Right.
No, I like that. I do that all the time as much as I can. Because it gives them choice. They feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as I develop this concept out a little bit further, I'll of course share it. I'll share it in Coaching Youth Hoops.
.com. Oh, good, Coach. Go over and check it out, people. CoachingYouth.com. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, and hey, coaches, I just get in now because the price will go up in the fall. Right now, it's hey, we're building it. We want your feedback. We priced it as it's not a complete project yet. You're gonna, you get in early. You're gonna benefit from that growth and all of the great material that's in there. But coach, it's really inexpensive. After talking to this parent I told you about, I'm like,
right.
Oh, there is a lot of stuff in there. And she goes, yeah, she said to me, she goes, that's all in there?
Right. Yes.
I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway.
Undercharging. We are undercharged. I would agree. But anyway.
Everything you need. So coaches, I hope this was helpful, empowering your youth, teaching them how to be leaders, right? I think that's really important because they're going to need that as they go into high school.
And everything moving forward.
At the end of the season, how that went and other things you can do. And if you have your own thoughts, if you've done something similar, jump on over to the Facebook group, Coaching Youth Hoops Facebook group, and let's start a discussion about it over there.
Let's do it. Coaching Youth Hoops Facebook group. Awesome. All right. Till next week, Coach.
Till next week.
Sorry, everybody, for my voice. By the next time, it will be better.
You rallied, buddy. Nice job.
I didn't really rally, but thanks.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.